Welcome back, everyone, and I just would like to say thank you for clicking on this video because I genuinely think that today can be something that you can remember for a while. If you haven't already heard this, we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be listening to a poem. And I know what you're thinking, bro, a poem? What are you, into poetry? No, not really. But when I heard this for the first time, I literally cried. I'm not even going to lie, I'm going to do my best not to get too emotional, because every time I read this or hear it, dude, I get emotional. It's very powerful for me, and I hope it is for you. Let's get into it, baby. Let's go. Alright, so I'm just going to get right into it. Like I said, I think this is very powerful, and if you haven't heard this before, and even if you have heard this before, it's just very powerful. The poem is by Scott Lewis, and it's called Holes. Alright, I'm just going to dive right in. Here we go. I had been in that hole for a very long time, in the dark and the damp and the cold and the slime. The shaft was above me, I could see it quite clear, but there's no way I could ever reach it from here. Nor could I remember the world way up there, so I lost all my hope and gave into despair. I knew nothing but darkness, the floor and the walls. Then off in the distance I heard someone call, "Get up, get ready, there is nothing the matter. Take rocks and old sticks and build up a fine ladder." This had never occurred to me, had not crossed my mind, but I started to stack all the stones I could find. When I ran out of stones, then old sticks were my goal. For one way or another, I'd get out of that hole. So I soon had a ladder that was sturdy and tall, and I thought I'll soon leave this place once and for all. I climbed up my ladder. It was no easy chore, for from lifting those boulders my shoulders were sore. I climbed up the ladder, but soon had to stop, for my ladder stopped short some 10 feet from the top. I climbed back down and my ladder and started to cry. I'd done all I could do, I gave my best try, and in spite of my work in this hole, I must die. And all I could do was to sit and think, why? Was my ladder too short, or my hole much too deep? Then from way up on high, I hear a voice, "Do not weep." And then faith, hope, and love entered into my chest, as the voice said to me that I'd done my best. He said, "You've worked very hard, and your labor's been rough, but the ladder you've built is at last tall enough. Do not despair, you have reason to hope. Just climb up your ladder, I'll throw down my rope." I climbed up the ladder, then climbed up the cord. When I got to the top, there stood the Lord. I couldn't be happier, my struggle was done. I blinked in the brightness that came from the sun. I fell to the ground, his feet did I kiss. I cried, "What can I do to repay thee for this?" Then he looked all around him. There were holes in the ground. They had people inside and were seen all around. There were thousands of holes that were damp, dark, and deep. The Lord turned to me and he said, "Feed my sheep." Then he went on his way to help other lost souls, and I got right to work calling down to the holes, "Get up, get ready, there's nothing the matter. Take rocks and old sticks and build up a fine ladder." It now was my turn to spread the good word, the most glorious message that man ever heard, that there's one who is willing to save one and all, and we've got to be ready when he gives us the call. He'll pull us out of the hole that we're in and save all our souls from death and from sin. So do not lose faith. There is reason to hope. Just build up your ladder. He'll throw down his rope. Mother fluffer, dude, it gets me every time, bro. I'm not playing this. I actually did pretty good this time. Gosh, golly, that is very powerful, and I feel like it does such a good job. It's like an analogy. It's an analogy, but it does such a good job at describing the message of Christianity, of Jesus, and the hope that he brings. Is very powerful. I hope you feel the same way, and it's not just me. But I just know when I first heard that, think about my reaction times 10, man. It was crazy. So yeah, I mean, honestly, that's the main point of this video, is that poem and that message, that listen, no matter how deep your hole, no matter how dark, how damp, It is, and it may seem right now. There's one who's willing to save, and there's one that will throw down his rope and to not give up hope. And his name is Jesus, the one and only true God. He loves you and he wants your heart. Please let me know what your thoughts are on this poem. Let me know that I'm not the only one that has this reaction. But yeah, I'll keep it nice and short and simple to the point. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, whatever day this is, and I'll catch you next time. Shout out to Jesus.